Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, and we're looking at 2021's Candyman, which is a direct sequel to the 1992 original film. They are skipping the second and third films, but this is the fourth movie in the franchise overall. However, this is a direct sequel to the first one. The first one is what I would call a horror classic, starring Tony Todd and Virginia Madsen. It's one of my favorite horror movies of all time, and I hold it near and dear to my heart. That came out in 1992. I would have been 16 at the time. I think I saw it the very next year, probably just before I turned 17, I guess. I remember it was during the summer, and my elder sister tried to scare me because we watched it at night, and then later on the night she tried saying the name Candyman 5 times out in the dark, and sis, it did work. We're still here, by the way. Okay, so this one, like I mentioned, is a direct sequel, and this one stars Yahya Abdul Mateen too, Teyona Paris, Nathan Stewart Jarrett, Coleman Domingo, who's from Fear of the Walking Dead, and Kyle Kaminski, Vanessa Williams, Virginia Madsen and Tony Todd have, basically they reprise their roles. Virginia Madsen mainly in archive footage, and then Tony Todd as well. But Tony Todd, they do something with his face and make him look younger in this movie at the very end. This movie is directed by Nia DaCosta and is written by Jordan Peele, Win Rosenfield, and DaCosta. And here are my thoughts. It's not a bad movie. It's a good movie, but it pales in comparison to the 1992 original. I think mainly because here his character is basically like the victim. He's supposed to be the baby that is rescued by Helen, Virginia Madsen character in the first film, from the flames, and then grows up, is adopted and grows up, not knowing that he was part of Cabrini Green and that life back then. He doesn't have the presence of Tony Todd. I've seen him in a couple of films, but this guy, nothing against him, he just doesn't, like, you're trying to compare, I don't know. Tony Todd is like an icon. He is a legend in horror circles especially. This guy doesn't compare. That is the problem. It's like I said, it's not a bad film at all. However, because of that, kind of lacks the punch of the first movie. I do like the storyline in this movie. I'm not going to spoil too much about it, but yeah, when I say spoilers, yeah, he is kind of like getting haunted and kind of like guided onto the way by Coleman Domingo's character to be the embodiment of Candyman. So he's kind of like more the victim over here. However, and it's like his fate kind of thing. That's what they kind of put into this movie. So I guess maybe because of that as well, you don't really have that menacing figure of Tony Todd as the Candyman. That is probably why I'm not really liking this movie that much. It did do pretty well. Considering in COVID times, made 77 million against a budget of 25 million. It's got a lot of good reviews and stuff. It's a little bit more bloodier than the first movie. The killing scene in the bathroom, for example, the schools among the teenage girls, that is pretty well done. And I think Coleman Domingo's character is also kind of like the antagonist role over here. And I think he was pretty good as well. I didn't really like his role too much in Fear of the Walking Dead. One of the reasons why I stopped watching that show. And it's like sometimes he would be really good. Sometimes I felt like his acting was kind of off. One of the reasons I now thinking of actually going back and watching that show once again is probably seeing him in this movie. Because he's a very likable actor, to be honest, but it's just that sometimes his performances in Fear of the Walking Dead kind of put me off a little bit. What else? Vanessa Williams, not the Vanessa Williams that we know, but the other actress, Vanessa Williams, she plays his character's name is Anthony McCoy. She plays his estranged mother. who kind of believes in the Candyman legend and was living in Cabrini Green at the time. His girlfriend is played by Teyonah Parris, and I think she was one of the weakest links in the movie. To be honest, she wasn't really convincing for me in a lot of things. Overall, I'll give it a 7 out of 10, a grudging 7 out of 10. I was leaning more towards 6.5. But then thinking about it, towards the end, it actually does, I think it actually does redeem itself quite a bit. And he basically takes on the character of, and he basically becomes Candyman. I think they're planning a sequel, if I'm not mistaken. Hopefully, the sequel is going to be a lot better. And I think they should do, maybe not seeing him as a victim and more as the like the villainous character or the monster character might actually be much better. But that's overall my thoughts about this film. It wasn't the like I was kind of disappointed because, like I mentioned, Candyman is one of my favorite movies, and I just like seeing Tony Todd on screen because he is absolutely fantastic, especially in scarier movies and stuff. Yeah, so maybe that's my biasness talking over there. Also, the the brother of the lead character and his boyfriend, uh, they weren't. Again, the guy was, I think, was like a little overacting. To be honest, I didn't really like those two. I mean, nothing against them again, but I just didn't like those two actors in their performance in this particular film. Other than that, that's it for this particular movie. Like I mentioned, I'll give it a 7 out of 10, whereas the original Candyman is way higher. And it's an iconic movie, by the way. So that's it for me regarding Candyman. I shall see you again pretty soon. Good night.